Boeing has been the subject of seemingly endless headlines for a multitude of issues in the air, including an emergency landing just this week that left 10 on board injured after a 737 caught fire. Over the past few months, two separate Boeing whistleblowers have died under what some are calling mysterious circumstances. For more than 12 years, my next guest was a production line inspector for Spirit AeroSystems, the largest supplier for Boeing, making a number of their airplane fuselages. But now he's speaking out about the hundreds of defects he says he witnessed and was silenced about. Here with us is Santiago Paredes. Santiago, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Of course. You worked as a quality inspector for 12 years. Can you tell us exactly what your role was?
I was the end-of-the-line inspector. I did a lot of the final inspections on the fuselage of the 737. And yeah, for many years, there for about 8 months, I did quality management, but I didn't really like it, and I came right back to the floor.
Final inspection. So you saw the very end of this. So talk to us about some of the first issues you found and what happened when you brought them up to your bosses.
One of the first issues, it was just a culture shock because coming from a different place where I was used to different things. When I came there was a lot of a lot of rush work, it seemed like they didn't hold people accountable for their mistakes. They would just shove it under the rug and then continue moving the line. Anything that helped to move the line forward was where it seemed like the focus was at.
So a lot of rush work. Do you think safety really wasn't being taken into consideration? They were just trying to get these jets out the door.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the defects that you said you found. Can you give us an example of some?
There was a mixture of many things. Amongst them were missing fasteners, missing parts, bent parts, dents on the skin, a multitude. It depended. FOD, which is foreign object debris, just multiple things. And it was everywhere in the plane.
It was everywhere. And you just named a few defects that we've seen in the air. We've actually seen some of these incidents come into fruition. What should have happened as a result of the defects that you identified, like missing parts when you mentioned it to your superiors?
Well, we identified the defects. Our job as inspectors was to identify and document defects so they can properly be fixed. But our problem with some of our management was that when I started documenting some of those defects, there were too many of them. So it started to affect their budget or the numbers, or they had to explain why it was so many, and they couldn't fix them. So they wanted me to lie as far as the quantity of the defects that were being documented.
I want to go back to what you said. So Boeing wanted you to lie after you pointed out all the defects as you're at the end of the inspection line and looking at these Boeings right before they go out the door.
Well, I'm not going to say Boeing because I was working for Spirit, but
sure.
The Spirit Upper Management.
Thank you for that clarification. Yes.
Yeah.
So you resigned in 2022. You expressed concerns, you expressed problems with these jets. What have been your thoughts as you watch the news and you hear about these safety issues, so many safety issues that Boeing is currently facing?
So my original thought was I wasn't surprised. I thought it was just a matter of time before something bad was going to happen, and that's how I approached it. A lot of my team, I was like, look, you have to be responsible for your own work. Make sure that you look at it. I trained them to the point where I told them that they have to make sure that they're satisfied with what they're accepting and what they're saying that is right. And I wasn't surprised. When I saw it, I was like, well, there it is. It happened.
We did reach out to Boeing for a comment. They said they've taken, quote, significant action to improve the quality of the Spirit AeroSystems fuselages that you referred to. They said, in part, we've been working closely with Spirit AeroSystems and its leadership to strengthen the quality of the commercial airplanes that we build together. So, Santiago, we're talking about both these companies. You tell me they were aware of the defects, but continue to send the planes out. What do you want to say to your former employer?
To be transparent, to make sure that things have gotten to this point and they know exactly why. And if we need if we need changes to happen, you need to be transparent with the real issues that's going on in there. Have everybody held accountable And right after I left Spirit, a lot of my ex-employees, ex coworkers, they reached out to me and said that things have gotten worse, that they didn't improve because I left. They nobody was standing up to them, nobody was trying to do the right thing, and a lot of things they got away with, and that's why it didn't surprise me when everything happened. So what I would tell them is be transparent. You know exactly what's wrong, and quit lying, quit saying. Quit hiding the truth. Just be honest. Be honest about it, and let's fix it. Let's fix it, so we can build safe planes for everybody flying.
That's so well said. I do want to add, we reached out to the FAA for their response to your claims and those of other whistleblowers. This is what they had to say. Voluntary reporting without fear of reprisal is a critical component in aviation safety. We strongly encourage everyone in the aviation industry to share information. We thoroughly investigate all reports. Are you worried? This takes a lot of bravery to come out and speak against a huge company like the one you worked for. Are you nervous at all about telling your story?
I think at this point it's more about what's at stake, and what's at stake is a lot of people's lives are at stake. And I think the what's at stake is more important than than me. It's not about me. It's about what really is at stake, and I think that's what we have to keep our focus on. So hopefully these companies change and do something better.
Very quickly, Santiago, when you went to your superiors, did you feel any repercussions when you labeled the defects and told them about what you were seeing on the inspection line?
Where at one point they demoted me from my team lead position, and they retaliated against me, and I know they have said that because they return me into my leadership position as a team lead, and that they pay me for that. But when you do things like that, the damage is already done. When you see somebody being demoted and being treated the way I was treated, the damage is already done. At that point, my team felt without a voice, without a leader. And when even if you say that shows that the system is working,
yeah,
it doesn't, because when you do that stuff, the damage is already done.
Sure.
You already put fear on the workers and things like that, so it's too late at that point.
Well, Santiago, like I said, this takes a lot of bravery. Thank you so much for coming on the show this morning.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.